3, 4, 3, 4, 6, 5. These are a string of 6 digits that brings a dark memory into the degenerates of the quintessential Kundaplats fandom. It is that thing that the members of the community refuses to admit the existence of. If you're a doujin, you would have probably guessed what this video is about. Let's start by placing yourself in my point of view. You have finally finished watching the recently aired Final Queens movie. Yes. You are a happy man. But still, as a degenerate, you log on to the place where all hope is abandoned and search up some Queen's good time and you stumble across this brilliantly drawn doujin. You are in it, you love it, and you read through all the chapters and it just ends. Fuck. As the massive Queen decrider you are, you get angry. I get angry. I am pissed. I need to know why this exists. You find the author, then you discover something. A history. Something that just brings your anger into pure fascination. And by the end, respect. Yes, this video is about a porn manga, a doujin, one that scarred an entire fandom, or to me, the best inside joke to have born out of the quintessential Kundaplats community. It is also about the history of another manga, one that changed the course of fan works and fan medias out in the anime community. If you don't know what this series is about, you should probably stop here and move on with your life. It's a harem romance manga focused on 5 sisters competing for the same man, blah blah blah. It's a very good manga. I personally love it. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who's looking for a wholesome time. And for those who have seen the show and has not got wind of this number yet, welcome. If you were to search for this number on hentai, you would be led to a porn manga, specifically a doujin by the name of Gotobu no Saidorai Side D. It is the 4th and final part in the series of the doujins providing an alternate ending for the Kundaplats manga, where instead of Yotsuba, it's the other girl that gets a good time with Futaro. And for an explanation on the plot, here's an image. Now you may ask me, well there, go doujinshis have been a thing for every single anime out there. What makes this special? Well, it is a trope that has existed in the doujinshis for ages, but this is not the first time this author has done it. Alternate ending seems to be their forte. The reason I think this seeps beyond that simple thought is that Studio Kimigabuchi has a history, a long 2-decade-old history. It is 1998 in Japan. Evangelion has aired its new finale, created by Hideaki Anno after the public outcry over the puzzling abstract ending the original 1995 show provided. It is here the interesting story of the studio begins. It created a sea of new otakus, multitude of adaptations into other media, mangas, visual novels, arcade games, fan fictions, and a massive brand of products, chocolates, toys, sex toys, musical instruments, vending machines, and even condoms. In August of 2004, in the sea of media, doujinshi author Kimigabuchi had produced a fan work for the comic kit that year, an Evangelion doujinshi, an adult doujinshi manga as a love letter to the franchise. And with that, Kimigabuchi had made it. It got popular, and accompanied by its success, at the comic kit that year, Evangelion Retake began mass-scale publication of the book to every comic book store in Japan. The series found its conclusion in December of 2006. After a run lasting 3 years, incredibly impressive for a fan work. The manga spans several volumes and is widely regarded as one of the greatest Evangelion pieces of fan media. And that is no silly statement for a media juggernaut such as Evangelion. An adaptation, or an extension if you prefer to call it that. I think it needs to be read, and it needs to be known about. A satisfying ending to Evangelion that ended it before the rebuilds did, 2 decades later. A fan work that itself led to production of multiple fan works tangential of it. The Retake series with its sexual content removed was released in 2009. The 7 volumes now split into 3. And need not worry, the violent scenes are kept unaltered, including some scenes being added, giving this retake release a gothic horror style, which is the version I would recommend you to read. Retake mixes events and lines from the anime and the manga, along with some content from the visual novels and the games. For Asuka Shinji shippers, this is an ideal manga to explore, and even for the Rei fans, this serves as an excellent extension to her character. The manga not only gained popularity with the fans, but with the critics as well, as the famous manga critic at the time, Hiroki Azuma, quotes,
Well, having said that, yesterday my birthday celebration was held. I received the complete 6 volumes of Kimigabuchi's Evangelion doujin, Retake, as a present from Zeroka member Sakagami-kun, who said, Hazuma-san's passion for Eva has dwindled recently, so please read this and revive it. Well, really, Retake is a very well done work. The game-like realism is so full of energy, it made me think again, after a long time, about the potential for expression that can only be achieved by secondary works.
It is also rumored that the cast of the original show and other staff from Gainax had already read it. But I say rumors because these claims I was not able to verify or dig further info on, as most of these websites and forums related to Evangelion Retake no longer exist. Well, while editing this video, I have just found out that apparently Ano himself has read it. And the story goes that Ano and Kiyomaru walked into a bar and they bonded over Evangelion Retake. And Ano stated how much he loves how he had done Asuka in the story. Now, this is not just the only one from the original Gainax show who had read Evangelion Retake. It is also rumored that the voice actor for Asuka also had read Evangelion Retake and loved it personally. I don't know why, but just knowing this fact kind of makes me happy. The handful of information that I was able to collect were from the EVA and Critic forum pages from early 2010s. Evangelion Retake I could only describe as a piece that understands its source and uses every aspect of it to build an ending ground up completely original. The ending is incredibly cathartic. It is an emotional roller coaster that needs to be experienced by anyone who enjoys Evangelion and its characters. Additionally, the studio released 8 original tracks as an audio set complementary to the manga. And according to the wiki, that hasn't been updated in ages, a fan animated adaptation of the doujin is in works, with having its first episode half complete. It even has a live action adaptation, that I would not recommend checking out because it is just JV. I initially planned to create an in-depth analysis of each volume of Evangelion Retake and incorporate into this video, but I have realized that it deserves their own series of content to be meaningfully covered. Here, I highly urge you to check out the Evangelion Retake manga if you have experienced Evangelion up to the end of Evangelion movie. Studio Kimigabuchi is no stranger to alternate endings or violent gore mangas. I would argue their success perhaps is the reason for the trope to have expanded into a bigger genre of its own. Honestly, I just wanted to make this video reviewing Queen's Pawn, but this rabbit hole led me to an experience that I just had to share somewhere, and along it, I have essentially forgot what this script was really supposed to be about, as I was fascinated by how big of a feat one man had managed to make with the fan work, an achievement not only for him, but for the whole community.